are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay, great. So before we begin, just your camera view, the students are kind of dark. I'm not really able to see them very well. Do you mind maybe like lowering the view so it focuses on them a bit? That might help. Oh yes, great. Thank you very much. And then the ceiling is sort of predominantly focused rather than the students, so it would be helpful to go down a little bit.
That's not good. I don't know, Adora, if I'm going to be so good at this. Somebody else will be.
That's fine. That's okay.
Okay.
It's wonderful for now. So
today,
yes, that's fine. Okay. Well, thank you very much for turning on the lights. Now I can see you. And so this is 7th grade, or what grade is this?
Fifth.
Oh, 5th. Okay. Great. I was thinking that these aren't quite 7th graders, and I'm not sure what grade they are. So, as you were coming in, I was spying on you. So, today we will be learning about something very important, research skills. And research skills are really essential for school and also a lot of other things. But before we get started, you might be wondering why an 11-year-old is teaching you today. Well, my name is Adorasvitak. I am the author of Flying Fingers, Master the Tools of Learning Through the Joy of Writing, and this is the book that I published at the age of 7. More recently, I published this book called Dancing Fingers, and it is a compilation of my poetry from both me and my older sister, Adriana. So, now, moving on to the presentation. Research skills made easy. Are you seeing that slide? Okay, great. So,
sorry.
Let's talk a little bit about applications of research, and that means how we use research. Research is crucial, or really essential, in many aspects of both academic, personal, and business life. Probably you don't need to worry too much about the business part yet. Well, academically, when you write a paper for school, you need to use research to find information, evidence, and supporting details. So, for instance, maybe you are writing a paper about George Washington. And let's say you know a little bit about George Washington, but you need to have a few more facts for your paper. So maybe you will go and check out a book from the library called George Washington as a Child and learn about what his childhood was like. Or you could check out a book that described George Washington's role in the Revolutionary War and find a lot of facts in order to make a successful paper. You've probably used research in your own life to determine things like the best kind of shoe to wear, or what brand of pet food to buy, or even what restaurant to eat out at. So, and I'm very glad to see that some of you are taking notes, and I would encourage everyone to do so, just so that you'll have these as a reference point, because we use research quite a bit during school, so if you're ever having difficulty with research, or you'd like to remember some of these tips, then you can always go back to them.
Excuse me, Adora. I haven't told the students, but after this session is over, we're going to the library to do just that, to research an American Revolutionary War leader.
Oh, that's really funny. I came up with the George Washington thing just randomly. Okay, so let's say that you are researching Revolutionary War leaders. That's perfect. Then actually libraries, and I'll be talking about this later, libraries can be an excellent resource for you to find print sources of information. And then quickly, in business, maybe you've heard of people doing tests and surveys in order to determine what kind of product, what kind of candy people like the best. And research can be used for business to determine growth and profit and that kind of thing too. So, how do you use research? What are some ways you use research?
Marlia?
Computer.
Okay, so you do research on your computer. What do you do research for?
About plant cells and different things like words for a dictionary.
Okay, so words from a dictionary, you're looking up about plant cells. Very good.
Okay, who else? Okay, James?
In a book.
In a book, okay, so you might do research in a book. And so what are you doing the research in a book for?
Plant cells and animal cells.
Okay, plant cells and animal cells. Actually, I was learning about that. Let's see, sort of late last year. That's funny. You should bring it up. Okay, so we can do research for science, for instance, like plant cells and animal cells. We can do research for history and social studies, like George Washington. We can do research for writing. Actually, often when we do research for something, it's connected to writing as well. And we can do research really for all different kinds of subjects. And then we can also use research in our own lives to look at what kind of coat might be the best to wear in clothing, whether it's waterproof or warmer, what kind of material it's made of. For medicine, determining the side effects of a medicine. For our pets, thinking about what kind of food would be best for them to eat. And speaking of food, maybe human food, when we look at the nutrition facts on a box of cereal, then we are caring about our health, doing research. And maybe you're a little young to be worrying about this yet, but people who are of college age are probably going to do research into colleges and then finally travel. Maybe some of you went on vacation over winter break, or maybe you're planning on going somewhere over summer, and so you want to do research over the place that you're going to make sure that it's a fun destination. So,
have any of you, excuse me, I was wondering, have any of you looked up Magic Mountain or any of those places where you go? Have you done it? Well, you have done personal research for yourself.
Okay, yes, very good. And this is a personal little obsession of mine. Whenever my family goes somewhere, I always have to know the hotel that we're staying at. And then I go online, look up the hotel, and I see how many stars it's been rated, how people have reviewed it. I see pictures. So that's me doing my own personal research. So, and then also with museums. Maybe you're doing some research on a museum, or research in a museum, actually. So there are many different places and ways we can use research. Today we'll be learning how to find research from both print and online sources, how to organize and use research effectively, how to evaluate sources of information, and how to cite our sources. Okay, so quite a bit. Step 1 is finding a topic. To find a topic, ask yourself, what subjects are you interested in? Who would like to tell me a subject they're interested in? It can be, instead of saying something big like art, try to say something a little more specific like Greek sculpture.
It doesn't have to be a school thing. It could be something you're really interested in knowing about. Okay, go ahead, Abby.
Animals.
Animals?
What kind of animals? Remember, that's very broad. Okay. What would you say to that, Adora, when she says all kinds of animals?
Well, I would say it's very difficult to do a research paper on all animals because there's so many different types. So what I would do is I might select a certain type of animal, maybe like birds from a certain region. So birds of Washington State, that's where I come from. Or birds of Redmond, that's my city. So by selecting something kind of broad, but then doing it regionally, you can maybe narrow it down a little bit. So perhaps animals of your city.
Okay, good job. Matthew?
Science about human life.
Sorry?
Science about human life.
Signs of human life, is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay, so by signs of human life, then maybe you could really take a look around and you see a lot of signs, so possibly how we impact the world, the things that we do, signs of human life. So by that, do you mean like the footprints we're leaving, the special things that we do that?
The special stuff that people have, like what they're interested in.
Okay, very good. So you can, that might extend to perhaps cultural, and that definitely is very interesting, although it is a bit broad, so you might want to narrow down maybe to, for instance, Russian culture, something like that. So you could narrow it down a little bit. Okay, now we know what subjects you're interested in. You can also ask yourself, what subjects have you been studying recently? For instance, plant and animal cells would be an example, and you've done research on that. So think about some things you've been studying recently, and then also think what interests you most about a particular subject. So for instance, if I were